Hello, I'm Daniel, and this is my first Cities Skylines video. I've been playing this game for years. It's one of my favourite all-time games, and I thought I'd make one last city before we move on to Cities Skylines 2. And this has been a bit of a labour of love. It's a homage to the places I've grown up in England. So it takes a few hints from a number of different towns and parts of the UK. I just want to show you around it. It's very much a work in progress still, so the plan is to do some more videos where we finish off this city. But let's get straight in. So, Chiplington is a city I've built, and based on past, it's trying to draw on the past experience of cities I've made. So basically, it's aimed to be as realistic as possible. And there's different aspects of different cities in the UK that I've been to, lived in, so hopefully we'll get a chance to kind of explore those in this series. So, what's my experience of Cities Skylines 2? Well, I love this game, and I'm still very much a novice at it, so a lot of the things that I've done in this game, I'm sure many of you will know how I can do it better, and things I can improve, but obviously let me know in the comments what I can work on. So it's designed to be a large town, small city. Currently have a population around 65,000, and it's designed to be a city which is, it's self-contained. It's got all the major facilities that you'd expect. It's well served by kind of rail, but it's got that small town charm. It's not one that's been designed to be, perfectly organised. This is a city that's developed over many tens and hundreds of years. So it's got all the difficulties that you'll find in a traditional British city, such as traffic jams, strange junction design, lots of buildings crammed into a small space. So let's get an overview of the city. Okay, so come out of free camera mode. So here's an overview of the city from up high, and basically I'm only trying to use a small part of the map, so I'll say this up front. A lot of this map I've got rid of the trees, and basically that area is not going to be used. I want to try and refocus on this main area. I'll make sure all the transitions from the non-used area into the main city are well themed and immersive, but that's going to come at a later date. So I did make a bit of a faux pas when I started building the city. I've managed to somehow destroy some of the outside connections. So basically I've only got one outside connection which works, one road outside connection, and my rail outside connection worked for about 30 seconds but no longer works. So all my trains are based on ones which run within the map. I've even built a little train station at the edge so I can simulate intercity trains, but I'm really going for that realism in this map. I've got one main road into the city, or one motorway. I have actually built another road which connects this side, which loops all the way around the back of the map, and it's planned to connect with another outside connection, but again, it doesn't seem to work. I've got no idea why. It worked for literally a couple of minutes, and now it doesn't. So I'm going to try and fix that, because ideally I want a more realistic traffic where I've got cars entering and leaving a city from both directions. So, Chiplington. Why Chiplington? Well, the name of Chiplington is a play on words. It's parts of names of towns I've lived in the past, or currently live in, or worked in. So it could be anywhere in England. It could be in the southwest, in the Midlands, and the northeast. So let's get stuck in. As we head into the city from the north, we cross over this bridge over the river, and one of the first things I've done in my city is try and develop this area to the right of the main motorway, and this is one of the first areas I developed. And this is designed to be quite an expansive residential area. So we've got a number of suburbs, and I've used almost entirely custom assets, mainly UK style housing. So we've got an area here called Holwick, which is mainly bungalows, but we've got some more modern areas with more modern suburban housing, semi-detached, detached, kind of Lindens or Barrett's homes kind of style buildings. So these areas are very much still a work in progress. A lot of detailing and theming to do. So the left hand side, I've experimented with kind of how I can make a kind of marshy area, a marshland area. I grew up in Southampton, and near the port, it had a kind of at the top of the river, it had a very marshy area. So that's what I've tried to replicate here. So it's the opportunity for people to walk through, go fishing. So that's kind of what this area around here is supposed to look like. So anyway, any comments on how I can improve that area, make it more realistic, I'd love to hear. This map, it's a largely flat map. It's one of the ones from the workshop. I have added some hills in. Ideally I want to be working with a largely flat map for ease of construction, but I do need some elevation somewhere to add to that, that realism. Because as most people know, there's not many flat places in Britain. Okay, so the motorway, the first junction I actually built was this junction here, which again, it still needs some tweaking, but I've been experimenting with how I can make a junction which really has some realism. So in Britain, a lot of the more urban motorways have this kind of junction. So that's kind of what I've been going for here. Off to the left, we have Bar End, which is designed to be a kind of an old area of terrace houses close to the port. So more of a deprived area. So we've got things like football pitches, things you'd expect in kind of a working class environment. And then past Bar End, we enter the port, which is a rather extensive landmass. And again, this is very much still a huge work in progress. I need a lot more custom assets to complete this area. But the port area basically runs all the way from this side of the map. We've got a straight quay which runs all the way down towards the city centre. In hindsight, I would have liked a smaller port because there's going to be a lot of work to complete it and fill in with all the detail I want. I've kind of based it round Southampton Western Docks, which has a large straight line quay. And I've tried to, again, I'm going to do a lot more tweaking on this. I've put a lot of placeholder assets in to try and simulate a port, but it's still nowhere near where I want it to be. I have done quite a lot of work theming this area down here, which has got a container port and a cruise terminal, passenger terminal. I've got multi-storey car parks. In Southampton, you have a lot of multi-storey car parks where cars are stored. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for here. But again, still some more theming to do. I've also tried to put in some kind of, some older dock areas which are unused, just to kind of simulate that kind of realism of a UK port. Yep, so that's kind of the port area so far. Again, lots of work still to be done. And yeah, that's the port area so far. We'll head back to the kind of what I call the northern part of the town. And what we've got here is what will be a future country park, which I currently I've left it as blank land at the moment. I want to develop a country park here with lakes where people can go fishing, camping, that kind of thing. Very common around kind of the UK. Most towns and cities have country parks on the edge of the town where people can go to for some leisure. We'll talk about rail infrastructure in a little while, but a bit more of a tour of the town for now. And this main thoroughfare kind of carries us down from the northern areas, more in towards the central areas of the town. So as you can see, a nice tree-lined avenue, a lot of traffic. And what we've built here is, this is kind of the first area built, and this is where we go from that kind of tree-lined avenue into a more urban environment. So this district of Orwell, we've got a petrol station here, a Aldi, and a lot of terrace housing, a lot of mixed use kind of assets. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this area. Still a lot of detailing still to go, but I'm trying to really get that feel of a traditional British town. If we move further in, again, a lot of mixture of house designs, a lot of terraces, a lot of semi-detached houses. I've tried to kind of really think about how I design the commercial areas, try and make it as real to life as possible. I'd like more assets if I can, but I want to make sure they're kind of appropriate to what I'm working on. If we move further in, Again, we're going to come to more of the railway kind of network soon, but you can see I'm trying to fit the railway network really well into the city. And we come now towards, we're getting towards the centre of town. We've got a retail park here with a car showroom. Use some custom assets to make it a bit more realistic. And again, you're just trying to recreate that traditional kind of UK retail park setting. Okay, the main road, which does actually run parallel to the main motorway over here, then kind of heads off into a kind of dual carriageway lane heading into the city centre. We dive under this junction here. We'll quickly stop by and look at the football stadium. I love this asset here. It's a fantastic, typical, League One, League Two British football ground. And I've really tried to theme around this area. So we've got small car park, terrace housing around the outside, food wagons. You can really imagine this to be a bustling area on match day. Just opposite from there is the city hospital, or the town hospital. Again, I might look at replacing some of these assets. I'd like perhaps, I think that Children's Hospital is a bit tall for this city. But happy with it for now. Large car park. And again, lots of themes in this area, but that's kind of my main hospital area. This junction here is one I'm still working on. It's designed to be kind of one of those kind of badly designed inner city junctions with a lot of traffic lights, a lot of kind of ways you can go. So again, still working on it, but I'm reasonably happy with it so far. This road then proceeds on towards the town centre. Again, any kind of areas I want to develop, I'll kind of put as almost a fence around them, making them like construction sites. I do have some crane assets I want to add in at some point. That'll come soon though. So into the city centre, we'll have a quick tour now. We'll do a more detailed tour later. Ignore all the signs for not enough goods to sell. I'm still unsure how to fix that. The city centre is very much not finished yet. It's kind of based around a kind of a inner ring road which kind of travels around here. Very compact with a central square here, which again still some work on detailing. But there's a number of cities with this kind of central square. This reminds me a little bit of places like kind of Hull and Nottingham that I've been to, with a monument in the middle. We've also tried to create a nice sight line with this building here and the statue and the Ferris wheel and the clock tower heading down to the sea. So we'll do another tour of this area in a little while. We then proceed down towards the seafront, and again we'll do a quick tour now. We've got a marina at the far end here. Again, a lot of work still to do here. We've got a kind of waterfront area with various kind of restaurants and flats. Some more kind of high-rise, not high-rise, but kind of old-style kind of city centre housing and flats. Some beach promenade areas. I've taken inspiration from places like Whitley Bay, Blackpool. So I'm quite happy with this area. Again, still a lot of work to do on making it as realistic as it can be. We then progress along. We've got lots of terrace housing. And we've got this area here where we've got what is my version of Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So a large kind of amusement park on the seafront with big selection of rides. I'm a massive theme park and fun fair fan myself, so it's kind of a pleasure kind of making this place. I would like some more assets to really develop it further. But that's kind of one of our main tourist areas. Over to this side of the city, we've got a lot more residential areas. This is kind of probably some of the older areas. Shirley, this is kind of a large kind of inner city kind of urban area. I grew up in Shirley in Southampton, so it's kind of based around that. I've got a sports centre here with various sports activities. Athletics is close to my heart, so I had to have an athletics track in there. Again, I've tried some different things. For example, I've built some custom allotments here which you can see. Also got a caravan park down the side here, which gets very busy, so I need to kind of do some work on that. Yeah, so that's kind of the main city. So you just scroll out there, and you can see kind of how it's all designed. So it's quite a long and thin city. We've got the hills to this side. Plan is, I'm going to use some theming on the hills. I might have make some small villages, but I'm not going to go much beyond that. I want this city to be really vibrant, realistic, and to come to life without hitting the asset limit. My previous city, which I planned to kind of do a video series on, was too big, hit maximum assets, so I gave up on that because there was still a lot of work to do. So yeah, this is the city. How have I built it? So I've not used any zoning. It's all assets which I've plopped down, largely custom assets from the workshop. Very few vanilla assets. I'm really not a fan of vanilla assets in this game, so I've taken a lot of kind of UK-based assets off the workshop. Again, you always want more. I don't have the most powerful laptop, as you can probably see by the kind of the frame rate. So I've got to be very careful about how much to download. But I really want to see which looks genuine, it's vibrant, it's realistic. So yeah, hopefully you can see that in what I've done so far. One of the most recent things I've been working on is road markings. So I'm trying to make the roads system as realistic as possible. So putting traffic lights where they're needed, giveaway signs, having crossings where they would be. Again, still very much a work in progress. I've got a lot of roads to do. But yeah, I'm getting somewhere, and I really want to make sure the traffic flows well, and it's realistic. I am working on, we'll do at some point, making sure the vehicles are all more genuine. So this to the pizza wagon that I'll be going. I want custom assets which look realistic. I want cars on the roads that will be any British town and city. But that will come. You can probably see I've adjusted the speed, so the speed limits are a realistic level. Again, I don't want cars flying around the city, which is somewhat unrealistic. Yeah, in terms of completion of the map, you see this area here, not very well themed, so long way to go there. I've got other areas, sections around here, which I'm pretty happy that I've themed that area as well as I can. I'd probably say I've still got 60-70% of the maps complete, but we'll get there over the coming weeks. So yeah, I'm happy with the city so far. I'm going to leave the rail networks for another video, because that's something that really frustrates me in this game. But I've tried to build something which looks good. Give you a quick sneaky peek of our main station here, which has changed recently. It was a different design, and I'm still not entirely happy with it, but that's where we are for now. So that is a basic introduction to Chiplington. And just to finish off this video, what we'll do is have a quick ride around in any passing vehicle that we can find. Coming up in future, I'll run through some of the improvements I'll make, some things I want to change. We'll look at the railway network, we'll look more at the port, we'll look more at individual zones, different areas. In that meantime, I'll have probably done some more work on the map, so it should look a bit more complete. But let's finish today with a little drive around. We'll start, I think, on our road here, which is going to be heading. We'll start here. We'll go on this minivan with Emma Hancock, who is on her way to the middle residence. So hopefully it's a long journey. We'll see how we go. So we're heading now along the towards the campsite in the waterfront area, which is to the right there. Although just while we're here, I have spotted something that shouldn't be there. Where was it? Here. Yeah, that asset's not right. The Dale residence, so that's going to be deleted. Obviously, what I do is I've got historical building on all my custom assets. For some reason, that's not worked, so that's going to go. Anyway, let's get back on board with Emma. Here we go. Still filming to be done on the waterfront area here. Not quite sure what I'm going to do there, but that'll come in time. We've got kind of a wasteland there to the left. I do need to do some work on my map theme. I'm aware the sky doesn't look great, but I've seemed to have lost it off my menus, so I'll make it looking a lot better next time. Again, I'm very aware there's a lot I can work on here, so any hints and tips appreciated. Heading now past our industrial area, or one of our industrial areas. So I've tried to theme these quite well, making realistic to British industrial parks. And here we come towards the pleasure park, which I've used plenty of custom assets on there. We've got a Holiday Inn over there by the seafront. But yeah, I've just tried to have that big signature roller coaster there. So that's really going to draw the crowds in, much like the big one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. We head round now towards the entrance to the Pleasure Beach. To the right we have an arena, like a beachfront kind of open-ended arena where you have like shows and concerts perhaps. I've done all the road markings in this area here, so they should be kind of quite realistic to the British ones. Again, I think there's more work I can do. So yeah, any hints and tips appreciated. Quite a bit of traffic down here. We've got some full car parks, lots of people enjoying some food and drink on the water. There's the entrance to our theme park there. I've done some custom traffic light sequencing. I'm really keen on that in this game. This is a very busy area of town. Yeah, we're heading now into the suburbs. We're in the front district. The front is kind of the waterfront area. Seems to be struck behind a digger and a scooter. And I've used these kind of semi-detached houses quite extensively in the city. They really fit with kind of any part of England. We've got some terrace houses here again, very much in some of the medium to large sized towns, very common. A great asset just to form part of a terrace street. So again, I think this area here is one which I have done some custom lights and junctions, which have built up quite a bit of traffic it seems. So that's good. That's realistic. That's what I want to do. Moving to some modern housing now. We seem to be getting out of my car now. Where are we going? Nearly home. So yeah, I've tried to make it as vibrant as it can be. Still some things to do here. I want to make sure every garden's kind of fenced off. So yeah, which is obviously a big task. Still lots to do here. These areas need themed as well, and detailed. I do want to do a lot more of adding potholes and cracked road decals to the road. which I have done on a few roads, but not many. Obviously, it's a big task. And here we are, we're at home. So yeah, that was our little journey. So that is the end of our first video on Chiplington. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully within a week we'll have another video uploaded. Bye bye.